At the beginning of the movie, we see a girl named Lavinia performing some kind of ritual. Her mother, Teresa, is suffering from cancer. And through this ritual, Lavinia is praying for her recovery. During the ritual, a man named Ward arrives who is a hydrologist studying water and its properties. Ward's unexpected arrival disturbs Lavinia, and she rides away on her horse to her house. Lavinia lives on a remote farm with her family because her father, Nathan, recently moved the entire family there to help Teresa recover after her cancer surgery. Nathan is trying to take up farming, although the rest of the family isn't very enthusiastic about it. Teresa, a financial advisor, is struggling with her work as the poor internet connection in the area prevents her from staying in touch with her clients. Nathan and Teresa have 3 children, the eldest, Lavinia, their middle child, Benny, and the youngest, Jack. They also have a dog named Sam and several farm animals. One night, while Nathan and Teresa are in their bedroom, they hear a sudden crash outside their farmhouse. The entire area is bathed in a strange pink light, and an eerie smell begins to emanate from the site of the crash. The next morning, Nathan, along with his family, the town mayor, and the sheriff, goes to inspect the crash site. They discover that a meteorite had crashed there, which had turned brittle and decayed overnight. During this inspection, Ward also arrives at the scene. Later, Ward visits Ezra, a man living near Nathan's farm, to investigate the area further. While there, Ward notices an unusual oily substance in the groundwater. He collects a sample for testing. That night, Ward conducts a water test and finds the pH levels are abnormal. Suddenly, there's intense lightning outside, and all the electrical equipment in the area starts malfunctioning, turning on and off by itself. At the same time, Lavinia and Benny notice that the meteorite, which had decayed earlier, begins glowing with an intense pink light, emitting strong energy. Around the crash site, pink-colored flowers start sprouting, and even insects in the area begin changing to a pink hue. Meanwhile, Jack, the youngest child, repeatedly goes near the farm's well and claims that there's a man inside the well talking to him. Upon closer observation, they notice something breathing inside the well, something strange and otherworldly. This entity notices Jack and appears to attack him, but instead, pink-colored organisms emerge from the well. The next day, reporters arrive at the farm to cover the meteorite crash. When Nathan tries to show them the site, they find that the meteorite has completely disappeared, leaving no trace behind. The reporters mock Nathan, suggesting he might have been hallucinating, which infuriates him. That night, while cooking in the kitchen, Teresa, distracted and seemingly in a trance, accidentally cuts her finger badly while chopping vegetables. Alarmed, Nathan rushes her to the hospital, leaving Benny in charge of the house. However, things take a turn for the worse in their absence. The animals on the farm start behaving erratically, becoming uncontrollable. Their dog, Sam, suddenly goes missing as well. Lavinia begins to experience strange occurrences, sensing the growing chaos spreading around them. While cleaning the kitchen, Lavinia experiences a disturbing vision where she sees water turning into blood. She tries to use her phone to call for help, but it malfunctions and emits strange noises. Benny, confused and frightened by the bizarre events, is unable to understand what's happening. During this time, Ward arrives at the house and warns them that the water on their farm is severely contaminated and should not be consumed. Ward then goes to Ezra's place. Ezra plays him a recording, claiming that ever since the meteorite crash, aliens have been living underground. The recording contains eerie sounds that Ezra believes are the voices of these aliens. Meanwhile, back at the farm, Jack is visibly traumatized, likely due to a previous encounter near the well where the alien presence had attacked him. Later, Benny reveals to Lavinia that he wandered into the woods earlier, but couldn't find his way back. He describes how he kept circling back to the same spot, as if trapped. As evening falls, Jack decides to run away from the house. Around the same time, Nathan and Teresa return from the hospital. On their way back, their car nearly collides with Jack, who is fleeing in panic. When they finally reach the farm, they are horrified to see all the animals outside, screaming uncontrollably. Enraged by the chaos, Nathan blames Lavinia and Benny for failing to manage the situation. Trying to clear his head, Nathan goes for a shower, only to find a jelly-like worm in the water. The creature burns his skin upon contact, leaving him disturbed. The next morning, Nathan brings in a deformed crop from the farm, which appears mutated and useless. Meanwhile, Teresa, frustrated by her inability to work due to poor internet connectivity, loses another client and vents her anger at Nathan, leading to a heated argument. That night, Jack and Benny hear the animals screaming again. Teresa, furious, goes to investigate and finds that their dog, Sam, and the alpacas have fused together into a grotesque, mutated creature glowing pink. Terrified, the family tries to escape, but a sudden pink lightning strike hits Jack and Teresa, causing their bodies to merge in a horrific mutation. Nathan attempts to call for help, but the phone lines are dead. Lavinia, desperate to protect her family, performs another ritual in hopes of stopping the madness. When she sees the state of Teresa and Jack, she screams in horror. The family moves Teresa and Jack to the attic to keep them safe, but Nathan, overwhelmed with grief and rage, uses his gun to kill the mutated animals outside. Back in the attic, Nathan contemplates euthanizing the fused Teresa and Jack to end their suffering, but cannot bring himself to harm his wife and son. Meanwhile, Lavinia and Benny decide to escape, but their horse becomes agitated and runs off into the woods. Benny, drawn by the sound of their dog Sam, heads to the well. When he peers inside, the same pink light that had emerged earlier engulfs him, killing him instantly. After witnessing everything, Lavinia becomes mentally unstable and starts explaining the bizarre events to her father. However, Nathan, already losing his grip on reality, locks her in the attic where the mutated creature of Teresa and Jack resides. The creature attacks Lavinia, and her screams prompt Nathan to open the door. Nathan arrives and shoots the creature, saving Lavinia. Outside, the farm glows with an intense pink hue emanating from the ground. Nathan, increasingly unstable, begins firing at the glowing light. The sheriff, mistaking Nathan's actions as a threat to Ward, shoots Nathan, killing him. Nathan dies in Lavinia's arms. When Ward asks Lavinia to leave with him, she refuses, claiming she cannot leave the place. Ward and the sheriff then head to Ezra's house, where they find Ezra's glowing, decomposed body. Before his death, Ezra left a recording explaining that the pink light entity is an alien presence trying to terraform Earth into its habitat. Suddenly, Ezra's body explodes, spreading the pink light further. As Ward and the sheriff flee, a living tree attacks and kills the sheriff. Ward narrowly escapes and returns to Lavinia. When Ward finds Lavinia, she grabs him, and he experiences a vivid vision. He sees that the pink entity is an alien life form that is channeling its energy through Lavinia. In his vision, Ward sees the alien's origin, an otherworldly pink-colored planet destroyed in an explosion, sending the entity to Earth. Back in the present, the alien begins creating a massive tunnel in the sky through Lavinia, attempting to fully manifest on Earth. The surrounding environment dissolves into chaos. Ward escapes into the farmhouse, which is now completely altered, glowing with pink light. He sees Nathan's body reanimated, seemingly controlled by the alien force. Nathan attacks him, but Ward hides in another room. In the end, Lavinia herself dissolved into the pink light, completing the alien's cycle before it left through the tunnel back into space. Moments later, a massive explosion occurs outside, obliterating the house and the surrounding area. When the dust settles, the entire area is reduced to ash, and all traces of the pink light have disappeared. Sometime later, Ward stands by the dam, reflecting on the events. He remarks that the entity was beyond human understanding, a supernatural or alien force capable of manipulating brains, nerves, and bodies, mutating them into grotesque forms. The entity altered the environment, transforming it into a habitat resembling its own planet, as had the creatures. Nathan's entire farm and the surrounding land had gradually turned pink, showing the alien's influence. Ward concludes that the entity had targeted the family because it was summoned by Lavinia during her ritual at the start of the film. This connection allowed the entity to communicate through her and use her as a vessel for its plans. The movie implies that the entity came and left through Lavinia, making her both the cause and the end of its presence. And that wraps up Color Out of Space, a mind-bending journey of cosmic horror, family struggles, and Lovecraftian madness. What did you think of the movie's visuals and its chilling ending? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more movie breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and keep exploring the unknown.